Night again, and it's again Wednesday nights. We do AMA. Any question at all, whether it be related to beginner or other stuff. So I had a question from my good friend Og here, who was involved with afk.works when we started it, and CKAD and knowledge exchange grid and all that stuff that I did in the summer. Was that June? Previous, it was like before June actually, probably May and June, that time frame. Before I took on a full-time job working for corporate America. And for reasons that I don't want to go into, mostly insurance and money. And COVID is the thing. You want to have insurance during COVID, just letting you know. And during that time, afk.works kind of fell by the wayside. I registered the domain. afk.works stands for the Association for Federated Knowledge Workers. And the idea of it was that we would start to present, we kind of get an informal convention going. So it was to be an informal, it still will be, an informal group of knowledge workers coming together and, figuring out best practices, for encouraging knowledge exchange. And that's still a core part of my being. Some of the things that came out of afk.works as kind of the umbrella organization was pegn, so the parsing, expression, grammar notation came out of that, and Quint helped with that. I don't see him here today, but parsing, actually, he's still using it in his enterprise. I'm really happy to hear that. We made our own meta language. It's an extension and supplement to the very famous peg grammar from Brian Ford. And so if you want to know more about that, that's pegn.dev, and you can read about that. I haven't picked up that at all. Mostly, so I'm just going to speak very frankly. Since taking on the new job, I'm very sad to say this, but I now have a full-time job doing something that I had no knowledge about at all before doing Kubernetes. So I don't know anything about Kubernetes, or I didn't. So before I can return, I need to fully master Kubernetes. And that means get fully certified. And my goal for that is to fully certify in Kubernetes before I can work on those kinds of things, before doing more. And so that's the primary problem. And I think Og knows this. If you look at my schedule right now, it's filled with Kubernetes co-learning and co-working related to Kubernetes. And CKA, CKAD, and CKS. So for me, fully certified means, and I'll do another thing on that. Need to certify in Kubernetes before doing more, and that's the CK. I'm going to do the CKAD first, CKA, and the CKS, all of which I've bought last year, and I'm still waiting for my hats. I'm supposed to get 3 hats. I'm supposed to get 3 Linux Foundation hats because I bought it. I bought it on Sysadmin Day, and I didn't get my hats because they were out of hats. I'm really mad. I would be wearing a hat right now on this bald head if I had one, if they had given me one. Jacques Hughes Linux Foundation for lying to me and not sending me a hat. I deliberately got 3 certifications so that I could get 3 hats for loved ones and friends. I haven't seen one yet. I went there, they said, go here to order your hat, and there was there's no more hats. I'm like, what? Act now, or you can get a hat. Otherwise, screw you. Seriously, I'm gonna shame them until they send me a hat. So that's what's taking all my attention lately. Kubernetes is not something to be learned lightly. The Gungan wastes are not to be traveled lightly. Kubernetes is not to be traveled lightly, and this is taking all my attention. And you gotta understand, when I was doing pegn and afk.works and the knowledge exchange grid, which I really, really want to do, the essential web, anybody knows, I've been working on this since 2014 in creating a new knowledge-based exchange that's not like anything that else exists, and as a way to kind of follow each other and to distribute knowledge that's minimal, that doesn't depend on HTML, that's primarily common mark driven. This is something I really, really believe in and want to do, so much so that I wrote, pegn and then wrote a parser for it. And I really want to do it. I want to do the conference in it. I want to do pegn. I want to do KEG. I want to do KN. But there's actually another thing here is that the the Zet tool has fulfilled most of my immediate needs. And I know I probably doesn't want to hear that. But Cordemer and I have actually just today, right before this AMA, we've been working on fixing it up some more. So the Zed tool that I have is based on Zettelkasten, and I won't get into it. There's other videos on it, but it has pretty much fulfilled all the needs I have for capturing my knowledge and updating notes and all that stuff instantaneously in a way that is eternally sustainable and compatible with everything. There's no proprietary lock and everything. And so that little tool that I've been building, which is just a bash script right now, we've had other people make full-blown Go applications based on the Zet tool and say so with gratitude in Twitter and stuff. It's been very kind of fun. People have been picking up on the idea and making their own. But the fundamental driver for the associated, knowledge, federated knowledge workers and all that, and KEG and knowledge exchange grid was to capture the knowledge. But then the KEG idea was to take those knowledge bases and then share them. And I definitely want to do it, but I'm going to just say right now that I'm not going to be able to work on that until at least January, assuming I certify by then. So assuming I certify in Kubernetes by January, I might be able to might start in 2022. And I actually, if you want to know more about that, I do have a Zettelkasten entry with my 5-year plan. If you want to look that up, you can do Zet find year. I think you have to go search my Zet. Here it is. So Zet edit year. This is my 5-year plan for 2021. Micro projects, Confgo, command box, and all that stuff was designed to work with all that. And this actually has to be changed because now we're not moving anymore. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Probably beat that one to death. If I stay tuned. I re-up the domain. I don't want afk.works to go away. I really want to have at least an unconference where we can talk to educators. This afk.works gets a lot of interest from educators and as well as technologists because it's a way of creating sort of a common way to communicate that's not laden with all of the crap and the saccharine downfall of the web. And I really believe in it, so I really want to do it. It's just life got in the way, and that's kind of what's going on. All right, enough on that one.